Tuesday the 1st of April. April Fool's Day, I suppose, yeah. Well, I haven't looked back through the last video I posted. I haven't read any of the comments yet. I'm going to look through it today now. I'm going to post this video and read back on the comments and reply to them. But haven't had a few days now to reflect on what happened for the last week with this lady and the little red lady coming bulling as well. I was, I suppose, in a bit of a state of panic and worry. I get a little bit excited, so I've calmed down and I've reflected, and I'm now thinking that whatever will be. All I can do is ride the storm and calve my cows that have calves in them, and whatever doesn't, I'm just going to deal with that as it comes. So basically, haven't done a head count. There is still 7 potential calves to come, and I have just thought back on the dates that they're possibly calving, and I'm just thinking that we had 2 batches of calves last year. We had the belted Galloway calves, which were Ruby's calves, the red belted Galloway. So we had the boss cow here held first time round, so they have Galloway calves. Red Clare here, she has a Galloway calf, so they would have been cycling first. So it's just correct that they would have been bulled first last year by the new bull. So she's due any day. And we have Blue that lost her calf last year, who was bulled late, so she was carrying a short horn last year, but she had no calf to rear, which meant that she would have cycled earlier. So we have Belty Moore here, was bulled by the short horn last year as well, which means that she was late. She was one of the later calvers, so she wouldn't have cycled back as quick. So she wasn't bulled till August the year before. So she calved in August, July, June, May. So she calved the middle of May last year, heading for June. So she wouldn't have started to cycle until the earliest July. So I wouldn't expect her to be bursting with a calf at this stage. The only one that I'm concerned about that did have a Ruby calf, and that doesn't look like she's anywhere close to calving, is this red lady here. So she's Boss Cow's daughter. Big Red we'll call her, because we have Little Red here and we have slightly, or not as small Red. So yeah, so she will be the 7th. This lady had a Ruby calf as well, and she's going to calf. I remember I actually have it on video. I was demonetized for that video because apparently it was inappropriate conduct. The bull bulled this lady, so she, I believe, is in calf, and she was bulled at the end of July. So we have 3 batches of calves. We have the heifers that calved fairly early, which is gone by. We have all our heifers calved, and now we have the first batch of cows due to calf now, who were bulled earlier because they had calved earlier. So we've got 1, 2, 3 coming in the next few days. So yeah, we'll see how things get on. The ones that are proven not to be in calf, I have also, my new view of it is that if they had a calf in them, the energy that they would be eating, the energy that they would be consuming, they would be putting that through milk into their calves. So if they don't have a calf with them, they're going to put that energy won't go to loss. That energy will go up on their backs, and they'll be in better condition towards the end of the year. They'll be in better condition to go back in calf, or whether I decide that they're fat cows to sell them on. So that's the decision I'm going to make as we move on through calving season and into full grazing. So it's not a total loss. I'm hypothetically speaking that I will have a loss. We did lose a calf, and we did lose this lady here, but it's hedged, so we'll be able to recoup some of that, basically is what I'm saying. So the energy that's going to be produced on this land this year will be used up and will be stored. So at the end of the day, we're storing energy that we can then consume ourselves as humans. So that's what we're doing. We're storing solar energy via the grass, through the cow, in the form of milk, calves, meat, food. So that's the carry on in my mind. That's what I have come to the conclusion of, and that's why I'm not going to get stressed out. As I think I did read one of the comments that some of these cattle are not suitable for this system. Well, that's what we're trying to weed out. There is, funny enough, the cow that looks the worst has served me the best. She has never let me down. She goes in calf early every year, and I suppose that's why she does look that bit hungry herself. But that's her little family there. That's her calf from this year, her calf from the year before, and her calf, Little Red, over there. That was her first calf. So this lady has never had a bull. She has had all heifers, and now she's bursting with a calf, about to calf any day now. So she's, even though she looks a miserable bit of a cow at times, she is doing very well for me. So that's my predicament. You could have a big fat cow like this lady here, and then she has small little calves that aren't most amazing, but they do turn out okay in the end. They grow better as yearlings, but she tends to have a scrawny calf because she's very little milk. This lady has oceans of milk. So different types, different strokes for different folks. So they're up on these rushes here. We're giving them a good old doing. The ponies are behind the cattle all the time. They're going to come in here this evening. I'm feeding them this morning, and I'm going to... They were on this for a couple of nights, and then I opened up the fence and I allowed them the whole field. So they're down on the lower side yesterday. So they had that bit of picking, and they had grass. Oh, and they had their silage. So I'm going to make a new bit of a paddock. I'm going to graze this field down here that I haven't grazed on this rotation yet. I skipped it. So it's my little transition field, as I call it. I'm going to use it as a transition field. I'm going to feed them down below. The reason why I didn't go into it earlier in the year is because ground conditions was too wet and I couldn't get in with any trailers. So now that it has dried up and we have that little bit of spring energy coming into the grass, I'm going to graze it off and feed them below, give it a bit of a trample, and then close it off and allow it to recover and rest as we go through the spring and into summer. So I'm kind of excited about that though. I'm re-energized again mentally. I took a hit that time, and I sometimes take it a bit too hard. So I have to just realise that this is the nature of the beast, and keep at it. But I will have to just think further about type of cows, and just it's always a learning curve. Every year is different. But that bull we had last year, Jasper, he wasn't the most amazing looking bull in the end, but it turns out that he has strong front loaded calves that was that bit difficult for first calf heifers. So all my cows that I've calved now, all my calves that I've had so far are first calf heifers that I haven't had trouble with. Even his father, Ruby, didn't give me any trouble, but the heifers have struggled. So I've used the jack twice. I've put the ropes on once, even though I didn't have to do anything there, but I've used the jack twice. The calf that died, this lady here, what happened there was I was late. The calf was stuck at the head, swelled. I got him out. She got him out herself mostly, and the calf was dead. So they are having difficulties, or he was a kind of a difficult bull for first calf heifers. So I'm hoping now that things will improve. I have only cows left to calf, so all the heifers are done, so things can only get better. Well, they can't be any harder, but sure they could be too. We don't know. But I don't expect to see any trouble. I have to just keep a closer eye on them. So that's the carry on. They're going to eat their silage now for the morning, and this evening now I'll come down and do my checks. I'll leave them into the lower side. They'll have a little bit of picking tonight. They'll be down there for a few days, and then we'll keep on moving. So every day things are improving. The weather is great, and yeah, the cattle will start thriving again now. So we're over the worst of it. Absolutely over. March was a tough old month, and even though the weather was great, but just condition wise, having gone through a long winter and the transition then, and calving that little bit earlier this year with the heifers, just put them under a little bit of pressure. So I'm looking forward to seeing them throw up that bit of condition up on their backs and into the breeding season again. We'll talk about bulls in a while, but that's the carry on the first day of April. Yeah, so we'll be back to see them. There's no sign of any calf today. This lady is getting close, and as I say, Red Clare is getting close, so I say another couple of days and we'll have more calves on the ground. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, little scan on through. Beautiful weather, nice and warm. Spring has sprung. And there's Maverick. So on that note, I will say good luck and goodbye.